Okay, think about this. We use it every single day. But have you ever just stopped and asked a really simple question? Why does money even exist? I mean, it feels as natural as breathing, but it's actually one of the most important and kind of invisible inventions in all of human history. So let's dig into the fundamental problem that money was created to solve.
To really get why money is such a game changer, we first have to imagine a world that doesn't have it. A world that runs on pure barter.
All right, let's make this real for a second. I want you to picture yourself in this world. You need to go to the store, right? You've got your cart filled up with tomatoes, bread, milk, the usual. You get up to the checkout, but you don't have any money. What do? What do you even offer?
So what do you have to trade? Well, I don't know, let's say your special skill is teaching economics. You'd basically have to hope that the cashier, or maybe the manager, just happens to be desperate for a lesson on macroeconomics right then and there. What are the chances of that happening? Yeah, pretty much zero. You're probably walking out of there with no tomatoes.
And that little story right there, it points to this massive problem in economics. It's not just some small inconvenience, it's what's known as the barter problem, and it's a total system killer.
The official term for this is the double coincidence of wants. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is actually super simple. For a direct trade to happen, I have to want what you have, and you have to want what I have at the exact same time. If that perfect match doesn't happen, no deal. End of story.
And look, this isn't just a problem between two people. When you have a whole economy full of people, it creates what you see here, a complete and total gridlock of needs. Let's break down how this mess actually works.
Okay, so check this out. Just look at this chain of mismatched desires. Person A wants what person E has. Simple enough, right? But E doesn't want A's stuff. They want something from person B. And B, well, B wants something from D. Meanwhile, you've got person C, who also wants what E has, but E has absolutely no interest in what C is selling. You see the problem? Everyone has something valuable to offer, but because none of their wants line up directly, no trades can happen. The entire system is just frozen.
And this leads to a really, really devastating conclusion. If people can't reliably trade the things they make, why would they even bother making them for other people? They just stop. Why go through all the trouble of producing for a market if you can't get what you need in return?
So here's the bottom line. A world based on barter forces every single person to be self-sufficient. You'd have to grow your own food, build your own house, make your own clothes, the whole shebang. Specialization, the very thing that makes our modern world so productive, yeah, that becomes impossible. We lose all the incredible benefits that come from the division of labor.
But, people are smart. And out of this total gridlock, a solution starts to emerge, all because someone notices something that everyone else has missed.
So let's go back to our gridlock friends for a second. If you look really close, you'll see that both Agent A and Agent C want what Agent E has. This puts Commodity E in a really interesting, really privileged position. It's just more desirable, more in demand than anything else out there.
And this is where some genius has a light bulb moment. They start thinking, hang on a second, I don't actually need Commodity E for myself, but I know that a bunch of other people do want it. So what if I trade my stuff for E first? Then I can turn around and use E to get the thing I really want. And just like that, the idea of indirect exchange is born.
So as more and more people catch on to this brilliant strategy, something amazing happens to Commodity E. It starts to transform. It's not just another good anymore. It's become the universally accepted tool for trade, the central hub that connects everybody and finally breaks that gridlock. It has become a medium of exchange.
Awesome. Problem solved, right? Well, not so fast. It turns out just finding the most popular item on the block isn't quite enough. There's one more crucial, secret ingredient that's still missing.
I mean, really think about it. Is high demand the only thing that matters? What if that really popular item was, say, fresh fish? Sure, everyone wants it, but it's hard to divide up, it goes bad really fast, and how do you know if my fish is as good as your fish? The whole system would be incredibly clunky and inefficient.
And that is the secret ingredient. For a medium of exchange to really work, it can't just be popular, it needs to have a stable and consensual value. Everybody has to pretty much agree on what it's worth, and that worth can't be jumping all over the place day to day. Without that, every single trade you make is a massive gamble.
So that brings us to the real definition of money.
It's not just the most in-demand good. It's a good that has this stable, shared value that everyone can agree on. And that stability, that's what lets people trade with confidence without constantly worrying they're going to get a raw deal.
Okay, so now we can finally see the true power of this incredible invention. It's not really about greed or just getting rich. It's about unlocking human potential on a scale that is just mind-blowing.
Some economists like to call money a veil, and that's such a perfect metaphor. It's this invention that just fades into the background, and by doing so it allows millions of other goods and services to be traded with each other, based on how useful they actually are to people.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway. Money liberates us. As a producer, you no longer have to worry about finding that one single person who has what you want and wants what you have. Instead, you can focus on one simple thing: making something valuable for anyone out there in the market.
Money basically becomes this universal language of value. It lets us compare the value of an apple to an hour of coding or to a car, and that enables the kind of hyper-specialization that our entire modern world is built on. It's the quiet, invisible invention that makes pretty much everything else possible.
So, next time you pull out a bill or tap your card, just take a second to remember the chaotic world of barter that it replaced. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other fundamental, invisible inventions are hiding in plain sight, shaping our world in ways we barely even notice?